Welcome to our documentary about the Sogie Bill, a proposed legislation in the Philippines that seeks to protect the rights of individuals who identify as part of the LGBTQ+ community. The Sogie Bill has been a highly debated and controversial topic in the country, with strong opinions in both for and against it. Through this documentary, we aim to provide a comprehensive overview of the bill, its objectives, and the different perspectives surrounding it. Join us as we delve deeper into this important issue and explore the impact it could have on the millions of lives of Filipinos. But first, April Rolls Oripas will tell you what Sogie Bill is.
The Sogie Bill, or the Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity and Expression Equality Bill, is a proposed legislation that aims to protect the rights of individuals who identify as part of the LGBTQ community. The bill seeks to provide protections against discrimination and harassment in the workplace, schools, and public places. It also aims to provide equal opportunities and access to healthcare services for individuals who identify as LGBTQ. The bill has been the subject of intense debate in the Philippines, with supporters hailing it as a long overdue towards achieving equality in human rights, while opponents argue that it goes against traditional values and religious beliefs. Despite numerous attempts to pass the bill into law, it has yet to be enacted, leaving many members of the LGBTQ community vulnerable to discrimination and violence. Through interviews with experts, activists, lawmakers, and individuals who identify as LGBTQ, this documentary will explore the different perspectives surrounding the Sogie Bill and the impact it could have on the lives of millions of Filipinos. We will delve into the historical and cultural factors that have influenced attitudes towards the LGBTQ community in the Philippines, as well as the legal and social challenges faced by those seeking equality and acceptance. Join us on this journey as we examine one of the most pressing issues facing the Philippines today.
The Sogie Bill is deeply connected to the subject of gender and society, as it seeks to address the issue of discrimination and violence faced by individuals who identify as part of the LGBTQ community in the Philippines. The bill is a response to the social construction of gender and sexuality, and the unequal treatment and limited opportunities faced by individuals whose gender, identity, and expression differ from traditional norms. By providing legal protections against discrimination and harassment, the Sogie Bill seeks to create a more just and equitable society that values and respects the diverse identities of all its members, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. At its core, the Sogie Bill is a reflection of the ways in which gender and society are intertwined and how policies and laws can impact social norms and behaviors around gender and sexuality. After reaching out to several individuals, we were fortunate enough to find willing participants who generously agreed to share their perspective with us through this interview.
In total, we have interviewed 5 people. We have 3 interviews on the supporting side and 2 on the opposing party. The supporters we interviewed are as follows. Our first interview and the supporters are Alfredo Dulay, also known as Trixie Dulay. She is the president of LGBT community in Natividad. Due to some technical issues during the interview, such as echoing, the audio quality may not be optimal. We also have the second interview, who shall be known as JC. Respect the request to not share their full name. He is a third-year college student in PNP Tayo campus. And lastly, we have Aljea Orteza. She is a grade 9 student on Tayug National High School. And the opposing party are as follows. We have Raul Jan Olipas Nunag, a student in PNP campus who requested us to not show his face on the interview. And Carlito Rafael Vida Rugadza, who is a graduate in the University of Cebu School of Law.
There would be a different views depending on the opinions of every person in our country, especially to our other religious. There are religious that have a strict rule when it comes to issues like this. The only and easiest thing to do is to respect other opinions about this, especially the other people's religious beliefs.
So absolutely yes. Why? Dahil nilalabag nila ang karapatan ng bawat tao, lalo na sa member ng LGBT community na kung saan wala silang karapatan dahil tayo ay pare-parehas na nabubuhay sa mundo.
Ang biggest challenge sa pagpasa ng Sogie ay maraming tao ang hindi sangayon dito. Ang paraan na naisip ko ay ipaintindi sa ibang tao kung gaano kahalaga ito sa mga miyembro ng LGBTQ community. Kahit may batas na para sa anti-discrimination, hindi pa rin ito naiiwasang maranasan ng mga nasa LGBTQ community kaya dapat may pasa ang Sogie Bill.
The possible reason why there are many challenges to pass the Sogie Bill is because many people are against it, and maybe even the majority of the Senate is also against it. Everyone has their own opinions about the Sogie Bill, and this is what they base on before they can pass this bill.
It is a internal covenant on civil and political rights and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So it is acknowledged that it is both a national and international obligation to prevent prejudice against LGBT plus people.
Yes, there is a law for discrimination for everyone, but it is still different if our compatriots who are members of LGBTQ plus have their own law, because here they will feel more that they belong to the world we live in, that they have their own rights in the world. They will feel better that they are accepted and belongs to our world. They have the rights to be protected. They will feel safe and loved.
To protect the rights of every LGBT member. It is important for the greater equality in our country because at the end of the day, ang karapatan ng bawat tao ang mananaig pa rin sa ating bansa. So that is my opinion regarding that questions.
Malaki ang maitutulong nito sa LGBTQ community kasi mas mapoprotektahan nito ang kanilang mga karapatang pantao at magagawa nila ang kanilang gusto sa kanilang buhay.
Ang una kong gagawin ay ipaliwanag sa lahat kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng LGBT at kung ano ang kahalagahan ng batas nito. At kung makikiisa at kung kinakailangan kami makiisa sa anumang mga plataforma, programa ng LGBT community sa ating bansa. So normal na kami ay makikiisa sa anumang mga gawain ng LGBT sa ating bansa.
As far as I know, it gives equal access to LGBT persons to employment, education, and social services. I think the reason is from God created man and women. There are only two biological sexes created by the author of life. A person's sex is therefore and not be by one's sexual preferences or how he or she views himself or herself. I think no, same-sex marriage may be strategic by people who are seeking to protect their marriages and the marriages in their communities, and are fearful that changing their definition of marriage is threatening their way of life. All I can say is, well, about Soji Bill, we have to remember that gays and transgender does have this trend of men. They may sound like and act like females, but their strength remain the same. LGBT are the strongest people you have met. If they are, that means they already have what they need to be respected. And please note, LGBT are not only the people who gets rejection, neglect, maltreated, or humiliated. There are lots of people who are experiencing those things, not just LGBT.
The LGBT community that kids themselves are that, that kids themselves shouldn't be easily influenced by such um such stereotypes. They might think homosexuality and supporting the LGBT community might be as some sort of trend that they need to follow. That it distracts the kids from letting them figure it out for themselves and but easily get influenced by others. I feel that it's really securing just a specific part of the community, like especially the LGBTQ community. It's only specifying and regulating for those kind of people who identify themselves within that spectrum. So, I believe that it should it should just be established as simple as human rights, and that if they were to uh, put themselves to regulate a law specifically for that, why couldn't it be also for other people? It's not like they are disabled or indigenous. They are a sort of spectrum
It's just like an
which people can
organization for
identify
like,
with.
it's like, wait, let me kaya ba? So it's just like an organization of like people who actually what sees themselves in a different type of gender, like a different gender spectrum among like the male and
Yeah,
the female. Yeah.
yeah. And unlike people who are disabled or people who are indigenous, it's already part of their identity. It's already part of themselves. That nothing to change that. But when it comes to terms like sexuality or preference, those things could be interchanged over time, especially with one's experiences.
Okay.
And it's not like they will be then and then gay as they were born, as they died. For a lot of people, the Soji bill might be helpful, but I think that they should really just expand or update the whatever comes from the constitution. That it shouldn't just simply be uh, a sort of upgrade or a sort of regulation one s- for one specific group. I believe that it should be all humans that should, or all people should not be harassed or assaulted or discriminated against. So yeah, I think that would also widen our approach, especially from old to new,